Did you know that sea urchins like to put small rocks and shells on top of themselves as protection? So if you give them a tiny hat, they will wear it. And did you know that rescued baby bats are tucked in cozy blankets to remind them of the warmth of their mothers? Aww, now that we got a good taste of serotonin, let's ruin it. Just remembering this manga triggers me. So I'm gonna talk about one of my most hated characters in manga, and that is the protagonist of My Name is Boy A. I know that those who read it already know what I'm gonna talk about. Calling him my most hated is a big title, because trust me, this manga has no shortage of characters to hate.
This is the first time in my life that I've been provoked to hit a woman.
And just to clarify, this video is not criticism of the manga as a whole, since it's actually pretty decent. Now let's talk about the story. This is our protagonist, Ogura Takashi. He's a middle schooler. Life is looking good for Takashi. He has a loving mother and sister. They own an izakaya, is good at baseball, has a great best friend, and he's in love with a girl named Sasaki. And the feelings are mutual, but they're like in that phase where they both like each other but none of them is brave enough to confess just yet. All in all, life is good.
Oh, look, it's a picture I took of you the first time I ever came here. Ah, look at you, so young and happy. Where do the years go?
Until suddenly, Sasaki started to avoid Takashi. Takashi didn't know what to make of that. He thought she hated him. One day, he saw her head into the art room alone. He got worried, so he followed her. He opens the door, and there he sees her laying with their teacher on the floor. Shocked and heartbroken, Takashi turns to leave, and that's where Sasaki looks at him and mouths the words, "Help me." So, let me give you the context of this scene, and I'm gonna be as vague as possible, so you can connect the dots on your own. A few days back, the teacher did something very bad to Sasaki, then took pictures of her and threatened to release them if she ever told anyone. And back to the present, he is now trying to do something very bad again. Now Takashi picks up his bat and brings it down on the teacher with the full force of his righteous fury. Excellent technique there from the ace of the baseball team. Look at that wrist control. That one's got a bright and bloody future ahead of him. And it seems he's telling the girl to run. And oh my god, the teacher's up for round 2. That's why you always double tap. Anyway, a few minutes later, the teacher is now on the floor. And I mean all over the floor and the walls. And Takashi is walking down the hall covered in blood. He goes to his classroom and tells his teacher that he killed the other teacher. He is then arrested. His mother gets a call informing her that her son is now a murderer. And the internet decides to exact its own mob justice by harassing his family. Now at this point, you must be confused. He's a hero. He saved a girl from assault. So why is he getting this treatment? I say that I hate him, but he did nothing wrong. Well, that's because no one knows what the teacher did. The boy and the girl didn't tell anyone. He just told them he hated his teacher, so he killed him. All in order to protect the girl. So now everyone thinks he's a cold-blooded psychopath. Now let me reintroduce you to one of the other characters that I hate. The sister. Now while all this is going down, she comes back and the first thing she does is start whining. Oh no, because of him my boyfriend and friends won't talk to me anymore. Wah. Man, shut the fuck up, this ain't about you. Your little brother is on trial for murder. Your mother is on the verge of a mental breakdown. And the only thing you care about is your social life? Maybe next time you should pick yourself a man with an actual brain who doesn't just then leaves at the first sight of hardship, you stupid ass bitch! Also, notice how she immediately starts blaming her brother. Meanwhile, my boy Ken was out here defending Takashi immediately, cause he knew he would never do something like that for no reason. Anyway, fast forward 3 years later, Takashi has done his sentence and is now living in another town with a different name. And he's going to high school. Things were good, till someone leaked his info, and now his classmates are avoiding him. And that's when he is visited by Sasaki, who wanted to check up on him. This girl. I want you to meet exhibit number 2 of the characters that I hate in this manga. This girl for 3 years saw what Takashi and the people around him went through, and she could have stopped it by telling the truth, but she didn't. She chose to be a selfish coward and let other people suffer for her convenience. Oh, but the cherry on top. Imagine, you sacrifice everything you have to save someone you love, then they just go, oh, I'm in love with someone else now. Now, if this was a case where she was never in love with him to begin with, I would be fine with it. Just because he saved her doesn't mean she owes him her love. But that's not the case. She did like him. She wanted him to help her, which he did, and she moved on after 3 years while he was detained for her. And she knew about his feelings, that's why she felt guilty. Yet she still lied to Takashi and told him she was tired and was going home, then went to hang out with the guy she got the hots for. But when things went south and her past came back to haunt her, guess who she called for help? Yeah, Sasaki is a selfish prick to make someone else take the fall for her, but it takes a special kind of breed to sacrifice your own loved ones for someone else. Takashi, Takashi, Takashi. Good job! You saved the girl you love. You're a hero. Her knight in shining armor. But what about them, huh? The people who loved and supported you no matter what. Wait, no, not you. The people who loved and supported you against all odds. Who would save them? No one. I hate him not because of what he did, but because of what he didn't do. For 3 years he stood there and watched them go through hell, and he could have stopped it at any time if he just told the truth. But he didn't. And to make things even worse, he's not even the killer! It's her! He took the fall for her. But she doesn't know that, because she lost her memory of the murder due to the trauma. So he's literally the only one who knows. He even destroyed the teacher's phone, which had the evidence that could have solved all of this. So he willingly put his family through 3 years of suffering for something that he didn't even do. For what? For a girl that doesn't even like him anymore. I would call you a simp, but that would be an insult to every single letter in that word. You stupid, selfish piece of shit! I hate you so much! Wait, hold on. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this right. Mr. Ogura Takashi, you stand today to be judged. Above you is a guillotine, held up by 3 ropes. Each rope represents one thing that a person should protect till their very last breath. Honored members of the jury, I believe you remember Ken, Takashi's best friend. Well, this is him now. This sweet, sweet boy was out there hour 0 on the front lines defending his best friend, trying to stop people from harassing his family like the absolute legend that he is. He was bullied so hard he became a shut-in, yet he never once lost faith in his best friend. When you went to visit him after 3 years, he was happy to see you, man. Even when you were too much of a bitch to give him the answers that he so rightfully deserves, he was understanding. He just asked for your contact info because he doesn't have any friends. He just wants to hang out with his best friend. But when you sat down, you saw that the account that was posting your info just posted saying that Takashi visited his old friend. Now, a good friend's reaction would be to tell Ken about the situation and that someone might be stalking you. Knowing Ken, he would not hesitate to help you find the culprit. But what did you do? I suspected him. You grabbed his hand and yelled at him. You accused him. You spat in the face of your friendship. For what? Even the reason you went to visit him was not because you were worried about him, it's because you suspected him. You are not a good friend. What you did to your family would make Vin Diesel very disappointed. Your sister was labeled the sister of a murderer, and your mother, this sweet saint of a woman who didn't give up on her son. Not only did she have to live with the possibility that her son is a psychopathic killer, she lost her restaurant, had to move twice, all while busting her ass to the point of collapsing to put a roof over her family, while collecting money to pay the alimony which she didn't have to pay, but wanted to pay it anyway because she's a good person and believes in accountability. Yet when she asked you multiple times, begged you to tell her what possessed you to do such a thing, you chose silence. You chose to sacrifice the woman who taught you how to hold a spoon for some poon, which you didn't even get! And finally, the one you hurt the most is yourself. You destroyed your livelihood and your future. Look at this kid. Did he not have dreams and aspirations? Did he not deserve the chance to chase those dreams? Did he not deserve to live a normal teenage life where his biggest concern is what video game to buy? It was not his cross to bear. But the biggest reason why I hate you is because of your hypocrisy. You saw what your family went through. You felt guilt because it is 100% your fault. You felt bad. You cursed yourself. But that's it. Admitting the wrongdoing without working to fix it is not repentance. It is sloth! Now, as per usual, this will be your stop if you want to read the rest of the manga on your own, because I left out a lot of stuff. As for those who want to hear a summary of how this manga ends, I believe I owe you that much. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you haven't. So basically, a lot of stuff happened and the truth finally comes to light. I would love to say it's because Takashi finally developed his frontal lobe and stopped acting stupid, but that's not the case. He was basically forced to do so because Sasaki regained her memory that she's the real killer and wanted to confess everything. And thanks to Ken, the GOAT, who came in clutch and knocked some sense into his friend, leading him to finally reveal the truth, then make the best decision he could have ever made, which is to completely cut ties with Sasaki. That way, he can finally move on from her, and she can stop depending on Takashi. Oh, and of course, you can imagine people's reactions to the truth. But hey, all's well that ends well. Fast forward 5 years later, Takashi now works at a sushi restaurant and he finally got himself a good girlfriend. Oh, by the way, this is Kawaii. She used to go to the same high school as Takashi and she played a big role in the story. I just didn't mention her. Either way, she's a real one. She supported Takashi through everything and he's very lucky to have her. Ken, the GOAT, is now a college student and about to graduate, and he's still best friends with Takashi. Sasaki went to therapy and is still doing her best to heal. She gives talks about her experience to people with similar scars to her in order to help them. The guy who she was in love with is still with her and is supporting her, but there was no romantic progress between them, at least not yet. Takashi's sister finally decided to try and forgive her brother after hating him for 8 years. Damn, 8 years? That's some competitive level hating type shit. And most important of all, Takashi and Sasaki never saw each other again. The end. It was a pretty good ending overall, and Takashi will forever be one of my most hated characters in manga. To end things, here are a couple more fun facts. Did you know that the woolly mammoth existed around the same time the pyramids were being built? Did you know that you can fit all the planets of our solar system between the Earth and the Moon? That's how big the distance really is. And did you know that you're looking extra good today?
I hope you found something good to read. If not, I hope Manga Barista got a chuckle.